All right, so last question, Kate, and this is a question that I ask everyone. It's a fascinating question to me because I love food so much. What is your favorite food? And since Ayurveda is all about how your body interacts with your food, can you describe an experience of eating your favorite food? Describe an experience of eating that so that our listeners can understand, if it's banana, they'll understand a little bit more about banana through your sense organs, being an Ayurveda practitioner. If it's not banana, whatever food it is that is your favorite, can you tell us a little bit about it?
I mean, in general, I love chlorophyll. Like
Uh-huh.
I am a chlorophyll junkie. I think all humans are that are in touch and awake. That we start to get really into leafy greens.
Hmm.
I have a grow tower here where I live in Mexico, half time with just all leafy greens on it, and I just go and I'll pick a leaf, but I can't zero in on like one per. I love kale. I love mint. I love basil. I love arugula. All those are on my grow tower. About five different varieties of lettuce.
Uh-huh.
Lettuces, lettuce is sweet butter lettuce. Oh, it's so delicious. In my greenhouse in Idaho, where I live half time, we have goji leaves that are actually really an interesting taste. So when I pick a green leaf and I put it in my mouth, the first thing that I notice is that it's alive. Like I
Uh-huh.
feel the energy of the plant because it hasn't been very long since it picked. Sometimes it's like a microsecond, right? It's
Yeah.
just like bam. And then I just noticed, like sometimes the arugula, especially in Mexico, it's so hot.
Uh-huh.
It is so spicy that
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't need much more of this. This is so intense, but the flavor's deep and I can feel it wake my cells up. It's just like, whoo, like,
Uh-huh.
some people may use coffee to have that like, ah. Uh, with kale, it's totally mellow compared to the arugula,
Uh-huh.
right? So the
Uh-huh.
kale might just be like, it's just bitter, it's slightly bitter. It's not intensely bitter, like some other greens. It's like slightly bitter, and I can feel actually a lot of substance in kale, which is why I think I like it. It feels like a substantial green compared to something like a dandelion leaf, which is, I mean, dandelion leaf is my plant. It's the brand of my plant. So I really should have answered that if I was on brand with like, hello, the dandelion leaf. And the reason the dandelion leaf is for yogahealer.com, you can actually get t-shirts that have an eat your weeds. It says eat your weeds across the top, and there's this big picture of a dandelion in the center. And the reason that's the brand plant is it's the plant that can solve so many health issues. It's bitter, so it's scraping. It's got a root that's really fun to chew on. It's a natural toothbrush. Like in India, they use neem, but here in the West, we can just dig up a dandelion root and chew on that, and it'll clean our teeth. And the older the dandelion, the more bitter the taste. And
Uh-huh.
so when I need something that is like, say, for instance, I've just been craving too much sweet.
Hmm.
You just notice that, like, oh, I want chocolate, or I want to, just sweet. I'll go eat something really, really bitter to reset my palate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are some of the things. Yeah, I mean, for me, is basically the energy from that ecosystem into energy in my body. The fastest transmission of that is definitely leafy greens, and I prefer to, as opposed to just like popping one in my mouth, is to use a lot of green smoothies. I
Yeah.
definitely love the green smoothie for that, which for me is just greens, and sweet fruits and water blended up.
Green, sweet fruits and water. Okay. Great. That was perfect. That was a perfect answer. We learned a little bit about arugula. We learned a bit about kale. And we also learned about the life-giving potential of these microgreens and picking plants right away and using them. Um, and also the wisdom of eating your weeds. Well, most weeds are edible. They have a lot to offer. They can really round out your diet because you only get a few different plant families in the grocery store. So you're really limited access to different phytochemicals with grocery store plants. So if you can get out there and pick a dandelion from your yard and eat it, you are welcoming in a whole different broad base of nutrients than you can get in the store.